Welcome to the Marianne Show, coming to you live from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm Marianne, and today we will be discussing connecting to the right people with Mr. James Canada, president of your local IT service and consulting business, Alliance Technology.
We love the Marianne Show!
Welcome, Mr. Canada, and how are you today?
Well, thanks, Marianne. I'm so glad to be here. Appreciate the invite. I feel humbled to be one of the first guests on your show.
I am happy to have you. So tell me about the finding of your corporation. How did that come about?
Well, I've actually worked for some very large companies in my career, John Deere, American Airlines, Reuters, and I've held a number of positions from Chief Operating Officer to Chief Financial Officer, a Director of Reengineering. But there was always one thing that was missing, and that was the entrepreneurial side that I have of wanting to start my own business. So it was a matter of finding the right partners and the right services to offer an organization. And I thought IT was an expanding area that's going to be around for a long time because it's always changing. So IT was kind of an area that we wanted to get into. Then it was a matter of finding some people I wanted to work with, and I eventually ran into a couple of gentlemen at another IT company, and we decided we could do it better than the way they were doing it previously. So we formed our own business in 2009 and started networking from there and growing. And it's been a great adventure.
So you're saying that you actually worked for an IT company, and why there you got the ideal to go into your own business because you felt that you can offer the world more of what you have learned throughout working for different corporations.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, because of the experience I had at these other companies and the positions I've held, I was very good at the operations, but I needed somebody that had the technical skills, and that's where my two partners come in. So we've decided that with our combined skill set, we'd be able to be successful in growing our organization.
So what are some of the benefits of what would be some of the benefits of networking?
Well, as a matter of fact, St. Louis is an area that I believe thrives on working and knowledge and trust of other people. You can't just make cold calls in this area and expect to get business. So I learned early on that networking was one of the best ways to grow your business, because people like to do business with those they know and trust. So I set out with having coffees and lunch meetings, and then began to develop a process from there by which we were able to bring in about 70 clients in our first year of business.
So you were able to bring in clients through networking, but you did not cold call.
Right. We knew that cold calling was something that was needed, but we did put more of our emphasis on the networking, meeting people eye to eye and sharing our thoughts. Most importantly, I approached it from a giving standpoint. What can I do to help them? And in doing that, it just felt far more comfortable for me rather than going and making a sales pitch, because I've never really held a sales position. It's been all operations. So it was comfortable for me to go and ask, what can I do to help you? And that kind of began the process by which I've developed for connecting successfully with people and helping others grow their business.
So let's go back to that number 70. So you said 70 people and you sort of met them at a cafe. How did you find these people?
Well, good question. I started out with just friends, connections, business meetings that I was in.
Your own friend.
Yeah, my own friends. And so I would encourage anybody that wants to start a networking, go to the people that you are most familiar with to get started and try out your philosophies and the way you do it, your process, if you will.
So would you say, and you said go to the people that you know and try things out. So would you say that you would work from what's within you, the gifts that are within you? Would that be a good idea?
Absolutely. Again, giving more to that person and sharing more with them is a great way to help them. And in fact, they'll feel a little more indebted to helping you because you've shared so many other opportunities with them. So they'll try and help you out. All you have to do is ask, and people will be willing to help.
Okay, so going back to the company that you've created, Alliance Technology, how has your employees benefited from that, from the networking experience?
Oh, I think the more we get out and share, the more they all understand what we're really trying to do is provide the best customer service and provide a giving environment, pay it forward, if you will. And what happens is if you continue down that path, you'll eventually get more people sharing with you ideas and opportunities. In fact, just the other day I was having coffee with a friend of mine, and my phone rang, and it was another gentleman that had an opportunity that he wanted to tell me about. So this happens to me 3 or 4 times a week now, of opportunities that are coming back to me because I gave so much in the beginning and shared with people my network and my process.
2 things. How important is it to you to train your employees to be the best customer service representatives they can be to your customers? And number 2, as far as lining your employees up with the correct jobs and job titles, how important is that to have a person within the fit of their position within your company in order for your company to run successfully?
Well, it's a matter of getting the right people on the bus and moving forward with you, number one, and making sure they understand your philosophies, your goals, and the way you want to treat the customers. And customers are really paramount for anybody's business, so you really want to take care of them. One of our overriding mottos in our company is do the right thing. Do the right thing for the customer, do the right thing for the employee, and it's how you build integrity within your organization. And that integrity spills out to dealing with the customers. And as a result, we probably only lost a handful in 6 years. So our retention is just phenomenal. And it's because we do listen to the customers. We do care about them. We take time to explain things thoroughly to them. And we really make that effort to do the right thing.
So you believe that, and you've heard this saying, no customers are wrong. So you don't believe that customers are wrong?
Well, sometimes customers need to be educated.
I like that. I like that.
I'll get calls on occasion, and if there's a question, I certainly want to side with them always and try to work out. But in other cases, if they're not right, we try to educate and explain our point of view, and then we come to some common ground. But we generally don't have issues in that area.
Well, can you give me some examples of how to develop and find the opportunities in your network and how to help them grow?
Well, let me give you some tips on networking. I think that's really what you're asking. And I've kind of got a 3-step process. It's things you do prior to a meeting, things you do during a meeting, and things you do after a meeting. And I have all this out on my website if someone's interested in pulling our paper down. But a couple tips before the meeting: you always want to use a source, a lot of times LinkedIn, to find out what do they look like. If you haven't met them before, you're not certain, you want to do a little research to find out what do they look like, what are their interests, how are you connected. So that would be one tip, is planning in advance. During the meetings, you will use sometimes the things that you learned in your planning that are personal to get them to talk, because a lot of times you're sitting there and they think you're going to try and sell them something. Well, that's not it. You want to get to know that person. You really want to find out, what can I do to help them? So, so using family discussions or sports that you found that they like, or the school they attended, will get them to open up and begin a dialogue with you. And then a tip after the meeting would be to follow up right away. Because 9 times out of 10, somebody says they're going to do something for you, they don't usually. And you need to make sure that you're doing what you say you're going to do. Follow up right away, because a lot of times, as you know, Marianne, life gets in the way, and all of a sudden you had good intentions,
Right.
and it just takes forever
That's correct.
for you to get back on something. So do it right away.
So following up with a thank you letter, thank you for this meeting.
Yeah, following up with a thank you and making the connections. If you said that here's a gentleman or a woman that I'd like you to meet that I think could help you, make sure you follow through with what you say you're going to do and connecting them.
How important is giving? Do you believe that you can overgive? Do you believe that you can never give too much, or you're giving too much?
I always feel you can never give too much. I kind of grew up in a family where my father and my mother were very active in the community, so I always wanted to find a way to be active within a community and help other people. So I will give and give and give if I know of opportunities, and not worry about it coming back to me, because it will in multiples. If you're doing the right thing and it's in your heart to give, it'll come back to you.
Don't just give just
Yeah.
so you can
I mean,
receive.
We're sitting here now because of networking, and
Yes,
actually the
yes,
video
yes.
team that's here
Yes.
now that's taping this is from my networking efforts, and
Wow.
and so it'll happen for you. Starts with that dream, and you give and try and help that person, and things will happen.
So it starts with a dream and faith. Do you believe in faith?
Oh, of course
Somehow
I do.
Faith
Oh, yeah,
connects
things
everything.
happen for a reason, and you know there's always a reason why something's going to happen, and I never worry about it too much, because I've got faith that that there's someone that's steering me in the right direction. And there's a reason why I'm connecting with this person. You know, I don't have to walk away with an opportunity from them. I'd rather give to them
Without
and
looking for anything.
Yeah,
in
without
return.
looking, yeah, don't
And
be
so
a-
it's natural. That's something that
Absolutely.
you naturally do, and you use that within your company and within employees. So when they see you, they know that you are a giver, and not just to benefit, but because it's who you are.
You're absolutely right on. It's not a tit for tat. It's not, I'm going to give you something and expect something in return. I want to sit down with that person during a coffee or a luncheon, and I always start with them. And I get them talking. I will spend a majority of an hour just listening to them and learning about them and connecting them with some people that I know that could help them. Not necessarily business right away, but if they're open-minded with the connection that's given, it'll lead them to opportunities down the road.
And I don't know if I asked this question before, but why? Why are you such a giver?
That's a great question, and it's really just in my heart. I mean, I've always been one that has enjoyed giving more than receiving, and in giving I feel fulfilled. It's an empty spot in my heart that's being filled by helping other people. And if everyone had kind of a similar attitude, wouldn't the world be a different place?
How important is it to network with the right people? I know you see people every day, but are there a course, or are there people that you just don't want in that seat once you get them in there?
Well, everybody's the right person, I think, because
Wow.
there's always something you can do to help them. The ones that I get a little disappointed about is somebody that's really trying to hard sell me on something. I usually am smart enough not to let them do it, because I will turn the questions on to them and focus on them and what they're really trying to do and what they want to accomplish, and then I will answer by connecting them with other people that I know can assist them, rather than focusing on me. Don't try and sell me. I have a way to twist it around and help them.
So it seems like when you go to bed at night, you can sleep because of all the people that you help. It's a daily process. It's just not something that you do for the benefit of yourself or your company. It's who you are as a person.
Yeah,
What advice can
absolutely.
you give a person that's just like you and for them not to be taken advantage of because of their mink attitude?
I would just say never give up, and you just have to continue to press on. That would be the best advice I can give. There are times when I'm give and give and give and nothing.
Do you ever get tired of giving? And I know I've asked
nothing
that
ever
before.
comes in back, but yeah, you get a little discouraged in the beginning when you're first starting your network. But I would say to them, press on, because you'll get to that point where that phone starts ringing back, and it's an exciting time when that happens.
Are there do's and don'ts when establishing a networking relationship?
The do's I've kind of mentioned.
Right.
Do the planning.
Right.
Do the follow up. The don'ts would be, don't focus on yourself. Don't make it about yourself.
Wow.
Make it about sitting down and finding out about them and seeing what you can do to assist them, because they'll feel a certain obligation after they leave. If you give them 5 or 6 contacts and just make that your priority to find 5 or 6 people to connect them with, they'll feel an obligation mentally that somewhere down the road they're going to help you regardless.
Because in life, no matter what dreams we have, sometimes we can't always take that piece of a puzzle and place it there and say, here, it fits. Sometimes you do have to go through other people in order to accomplish a dream. And it does come true if you never give up. Do you agree?
Yeah, it's absolutely. And that's where faith comes in. I've got a faith that there's a reason I'm sitting there with that person. There's a reason I'm helping them out. And in return, eventually down the road, they're going to find a way to help me. And in the minute you touch multiple lives, it'll come back to you in multiples down the road. So I never really worry about that. And it's just been a liberating feeling, so to speak.
If you could give anybody an advice, especially the young people, what advice would you give them?
Just be a good listener. Be an active listener. So many people I sit down with just want to talk and talk and talk. And if you are listening to them and you're hearing what they're saying, you can find somebody that will connect with them and help them. But be a good listener as you're listening to other people. Don't always try and talk over them. Just listen to what they have to say.
Do you believe that every person should take the time to go by themselves and maybe just listen to the things that are going on around them in a certain room? Do you believe that that's something good that a person can develop in order to develop a good personality, in order to deal with the things that are going on in today's world?
Oh, I think so. Being aware of your surroundings is very important, but also being aware of opportunities that may be out there. Thinking outside the box, so to speak, is one way that you can teach other people to think so that they can help themselves. So thinking outside the box, looking for opportunities, taking the best of what you see and what you hear about, and somehow making the connections with the people that can act on it.
So has the acquisitions of Metro IT and the network of clients and contact taking your business to a new level?
It certainly has been one of the things that's accelerating our growth, and we are so glad to have Metro IT and Crystal Aquil as part of our team. That was 55 new clients in one fell swoop, and so far none of them have left after the transition, which means we've communicated well with them. We're bringing to them a new level of service, and as a result, that's continued to help us grow. We're looking at another 2 companies to acquire, and at the same time we've brought on Brian, a new sales and marketing executive for us, who's out also networking on the Illinois side, and we're really beginning to expand our business.
Now, would you agree that networking is everything in the business world, the foundation of a relationship that supports and grows a successful business?
Oh, I would say yes, of course. That's really helped us a great deal. I wholeheartedly encourage everyone to be a good networker out there and to try to assist other people with their networking connections, not only in the business world, but if you're in transition. And as a matter of fact, that's kind of how we fine-tuned what we're doing now. I started with about 7 others, a group called Executives Linking Executives, ExecNet it was called. And they were for people that were at the director level and above that were in transition. And what we did was write a 1-page letter about themselves and the organizations that they're trying to get into. So who I am, our objectives, and what types of organizations. So I took that information and then have transferred it into the business world. So here's my business, here's our objectives, here's the companies that we're currently doing business with and want to do business with. And that's been a great document to share during a networking meeting. It's helped a great deal. And so as a result, while I'm out networking for business opportunities, I also get connected with people that are looking for jobs themselves, and I certainly can assist them with the process, and I have enough people in my connections to help them out as well. So it transcends not only the business world, but looking for a job, and even for college students that are graduating. If they would use this process of networking, they'll find a job much faster than going out on the web and searching or making phone calls or sometimes just your collegiate interviews that they go through.
Now, 2 questions again.
Yeah.
How important is it for a person to take advantage of opportunity when they may have let opportunity pass them by? And in today's world, people say that it's hard to find a job. So do you suggest that they meet with people every day? How many people should a person meet with every day in order to find a successful job?
Well, that's a great question. And as a matter of fact, parlaying that into developing our business, I made the effort to go out and meet with a minimum of 2 people a day to begin to build your network. So that person that's looking for a job, if they'll set up 2 coffee meetings a day or 2 meetings a day with someone and use this networking process, it won't be long before they'll find a new opportunity, because people are willing to help. People are willing to pay it forward to assist other people. And all you have to do is ask. And
you believe it's just that simple of asking? You don't have to just submit your resume online. You can literally call an employee, hey, I'm looking for a job. Can I have lunch with you? So you recommend that?
I certainly do, because you'll find when you do that, that person you're calling may have been in a similar situation. They know how you're feeling, they know what you're going through, so they're very willing to help you. You can't close off and say, oh, woe's me, I don't know what to do. You need to step forward, be positive, reach out, ask people for assistance, and they'll surprise you. They'll help you.
So you believe keeping a positive attitude with all of this?
Oh, most definitely.
Even when you don't have a job and no income coming in, just remain positive and call employers and say, hey, can I have lunch with you? And
people are attracted to people with vision and excitement and being positive and wanting to do the right thing. They just need a little help. You're going to help somebody like that far more than you're going to help somebody that's having a pity party, so to speak. And yeah, bad things happen to everybody. It's not always roses, but look for the opportunities. Remain positive. Ask people for assistance. They will help, and you'll be on your way soon.
Okay, so how many people off the street call your company and say, hey, I'm looking for a job, I'm unemployed? And probably after today you will receive those phone calls.
We do get that on occasion. Most of the time it's through networking. It's not so much a cold call, although we have a website that people do submit their information on. But a lot of times in my networking, they know I'm working for an IT company, so they'll suggest, hey, I've got John over here who's looking for work? Are you looking for this kind of person? So I will take that information, take that resume. If I don't have an open spot, I know others that are looking for people with that skill set.
Thank you for coming on the Marianne Show. It's
Well, thank
certainly
you,
been a
Marianne.
Pleasure, and there's so many people out there that when they watch this, they will know that they can be something, they can do something. So you're saying do something, be something, network.
You're absolutely right. And you're an inspiration to me
you.
for starting
Thank you.
this show.
Thank
And
you.
thank you so much.
Thank you. I just want to thank Mr. James Canada of Alliance Technology for joining me today. Now it's time for Marianne's Moment. A loving family is one of the greatest gifts. We all need to be positive and show support to one another. Get out there and do something. Create an opportunity for yourself. Thank you, production team, for showing support for the Marianne Show. Never give up on your dreams, and remember to always say thank you. Thank you for tuning in to the Marianne Show, and I'll see you next time. Think big. In customer service. So how it's forced the emphasis on customer service. How do you tell
Hold on a
the
second, guys.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Is that your
I
cell
think
phone?
that's your cell phone.
wow, it sound like my cell phone. Wow.
Let's just go back to, you said two
And I'll,
Let's take it back to that.
Can you just cut
hand
it
to-
off?
here.
Get that lipstick off your hand. It's
Let's
lipstick
see your
on hand.
positivity.
No, I wouldn't do it. I'm saying get that off your hand.
Oh,
She's
Yeah,
doing whatever you
lipstick.
tell her. You can give her all kinds of weird moves.
You could.
Put your hands on your hips.
I love the set, especially with the coffee mug.
All of this
Next
work, and
time
she
I'll
likes
have
the
coffee
she likes
mugs.
the plain coffee.
What, the flowers? Oh, and I like that. I like that. The windowsill.
Show me peace.
That looks sad.
Right.
No offense.
Not
You
that
look like
peace,
you're
not,
sad.
not rest in peace.
Right.
If you would like to be a guest on The Marianne Show, or if you have any ideas for guests, contact Marianne at the CIC Building, care of The Marianne Show, 20 South Sarah Street, St. Louis, Missouri, 63108.